The wrong place when he opened his eyes. Everything was white. Not just the walls, but the ceiling, the bed, the lights. Even the air felt white. It was quiet, too quiet. He tried to move, but his arms and legs were strapped to the bed. The material was soft, but strong. He pulled again, harder this time, but the straps didn't break. His head hurt, like something sharp was inside his brain. He blinked slowly, trying to remember, who was he? Where was he? Nothing came, just fog above him. A smooth screen glowed with strange symbols. They moved like liquid, changing shape every few seconds. He didn't recognize the language. It wasn't English, or any Earth language he had ever seen. He heard footsteps, light and careful. Then the door opened. A tall figure entered, wearing a long blue coat that shimmered under the light. The figure had 4 fingers and pale green skin. Its eyes were large, black, and calm. It looked like a nurse, but not human. The being walked to his side, holding a silver tube filled with glowing blue liquid. He opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came. His throat was dry, like he hadn't spoken in days, maybe weeks. The alien nurse touched a panel near the bed, and the straps loosened slightly. Not enough to escape, but enough to move a little. She leaned in, and he saw her face more clearly. Beautiful in a strange alien way. She didn't look cruel, but she didn't smile either. Without saying anything, she pressed the tube to his arm and injected the glowing liquid. He felt it immediately, cold at first, then warm, then something else, like a fire spreading under his skin. He gasped, trying to sit up, but his body felt heavy. She looked at him, almost sad. Then she leaned closer to his ear and whispered. Her voice was soft, almost trembling. "You're not supposed to be here." He froze. "What?" he whispered, but the nurse was already walking away. The door closed behind her. He lay there, confused and afraid. Why would she say that? Where exactly was he? This wasn't a hospital, not a normal one. He forced himself to stay calm. Think, he told himself. Just think. He remembered a sound, a loud explosion. He remembered darkness, falling, pain, then nothing. Was it an accident? A crash? Was he taken after that? He didn't know, but something inside told him this place was wrong. He looked around the room again. The bed wasn't made of metal or wood, but something smooth and soft. The ceiling had no lights, yet everything was bright. There were no windows, no clock, no door handle, just smooth walls and one thin black line where the door was. He moved his hands again, this time with more strength. The straps were looser now. Slowly, carefully, he pulled his right arm free, then his left. His legs took more time, but soon he was sitting up. Breathing hard, he stood up, feeling dizzy. The floor was cold but soft, like standing on memory foam. He walked to the door and touched the black line. Nothing happened. He pressed harder. Still nothing. Then he saw a small panel near the wall with a glowing red circle. He touched it, and the wall shimmered. The door melted open with a quiet hiss. He stepped into the hallway. It was empty, silent, and endless. White floors, white walls, the same soft glow. He turned left, then right, unsure where to go. Then he heard a sound, soft breathing. He followed it to a half-open door. Inside, he saw another room, similar to his, but this one had a patient, not human. The creature had blue skin, wires in its arms, and eyes open but blank. He stepped back, heart racing. What was this place? Why was he here? Why did that nurse say he shouldn't be? Then, from behind him, he heard another voice, cold and robotic. Patient 47 has left containment. He ran, not knowing where to go, not knowing who he really was. Only one thing was clear now. He was not supposed to be here. Asterisk the Forbiddens. Ward he ran down the glowing corridor. his bare feet silent against the smooth floor. The hallway twisted like a spiral, walls breathing faintly like they were alive. Behind him, the robotic voice echoed again. Cold and empty. Patient 47 has left containment. Initiate lockdown. He didn't know where he was going, but anywhere was better than that room. Anywhere was better than being strapped down, injected, and whispered to like a mistake. He turned a corner and saw a dark section of the hallway. No lights, no glow, just thick shadows stretching like fingers. Something told him to stop, but his legs didn't listen. He stepped into the darkness, holding his breath. The floor changed. Under him, soft and sticky, like wet fabric, a strange smell filled the air, part chemical, part burning metal. He saw doors now, tall black ones with no panels or handles. Each one had a strange mark above it, like a warning or a symbol. He reached out and touched the nearest door. It was cold, freezing cold. The door opened on its own. Inside was a room filled with floating tanks. Each tank had something inside, not human, not alien, something in between. Half-grown creatures, suspended in glowing blue liquid. He stepped closer to one tank and gasped. The creature inside looked almost like him. Same skin, same face. But its eyes were completely black, and its chest had a pulsing light inside, like a living machine. A screen near the tank lit up as he moved closer. Text appeared in that same alien language, but this time it shifted into English. Subject 47B human hybrid. Stage 3 mutation incomplete warning. Woke before integration. His hands began to shake. 47B, he whispered. Is that me? Before he could think more, he heard footsteps, fast and heavy. He turned and slipped behind a tall machine, heart pounding. 2 alien figures entered the room, wearing armor and carrying long black rods that hummed with energy. One of them looked at the open door and growled in its language. The other tapped its helmet and said, Another one woke up early. They began checking the tanks, scanning each one with their rods. He crawled behind the machines, careful not to make a sound. His hand brushed against a small panel. It clicked, and a drawer slid open. Inside were files, real paper files. He grabbed a few quickly, shoving them into his jumpsuit. One file had a human photo, a woman in a lab coat with Earth's flag on her shoulder. Under it, typed in bold, Earth Research Initiative Project Return. The aliens were getting closer. He moved again, slipping out of the room through a back door. It led to a narrow hallway, dimly lit with green light. Here, the air was different, thicker, hotter. He followed it to a broken door, half open and flickering. Inside, he found what looked like a storage room, but instead of tools, it was filled with bags, clothing, watches, phones, shoes, all human, all labeled with numbers. He picked up a watch, digital, cracked screen, still blinking 3:17 a.m. He turned it over, and his breath caught in his throat. Engraved on the back was a name, Liam Carter. That was his name. He remembered it. He remembered Earth, his mother's voice, a rainy night, a bright light, and then nothing. He wasn't just a patient here. He was taken, suddenly. A loud alarm blared through the hallway, red lights flashing. He ran, gripping the watch in his hand like it could protect him. He didn't know how long he ran or how far, but he finally stopped when he reached a giant black door, bigger than the others, sealed shut. It had a symbol glowing in red, a circle with a slash through a human figure. Under it, in English, it read, Forbidden's Ward, Level 0 authorized. Specimens only. His hand reached out, like it was moving on its own. As soon as he touched the door, it scanned his skin. A green light blinked, and the door slid open with a hiss. Inside, the air felt heavy with secrets. This wasn't just a lab. This wasn't just a prison. This was something worse. something ancient, something built for a purpose no human was ever meant to know. He stepped inside, the door closing behind him, and in the shadows, something else opened its eyes. The experiment files, the forbidden ward, was silent, but it wasn't empty. Liam stepped carefully, each footstep swallowed by the dark floor. The lights here were dim and red, pulsing like a slow heartbeat. Walls were lined with smooth black metal, cold to the touch. He passed sealed glass rooms, and behind them were things he couldn't describe. Some were large and covered in armor, some small with stretched limbs. None of them moved, but he felt their presence. He was being watched, even by those that didn't have eyes. In the center of the ward, there was a circular chamber with a glowing platform. On the wall above was a strange symbol, half alien, half human. It looked almost like a warning, but part of it resembled a DNA strand. He stepped onto the platform, and instantly the room lit up. Holograms appeared in the air, floating screens filled with files, data, and faces. Many of the faces were human, some alive, some marked deceased. One screen zoomed in by itself, scanning his face. Subject 47B identified. Access granted. Liam's chest tightened. A deep voice, artificial but calm, spoke from nowhere. Welcome back to the integration wing. The screens shifted, showing a timeline. A ship leaving Earth. A secret mission. Lost communication. Ben. Contact with non-terrestrial species. Code. Genesis. He saw video clips. Humans shaking hands with tall aliens, followed by darkness, broken ships, experiments, injections. He saw people being changed, their skin glowing, bones reshaping, eyes turning black. One screen displayed his own name. Liam Carter. Status. Hybrid Phase 3. Integration process. Incomplete. Awakened prematurely. High risk. What are they doing to us? Liam whispered, reaching toward the screen. It responded to his touch. Opening another file. A recording dated 12 years ago. A woman appeared, wearing the same Earth patch from before. Her voice shook as she spoke. This is Dr. Helena Cross, Earth Mission Genesis lead biologist. If this message is found, then the hybrid program has failed. We were wrong. The DNA is not compatible. They are not healing us. They are rewriting us. Liam backed away, his heart pounding. Another file opened automatically, labeled Internal Dispute. It showed alien council members arguing. One of them slammed the table and shouted, "Humans are not vessels. They are unstable." Another replied calmly, "But they are the only species that can hold the core." Then he saw a word flash across the screen in red. The core. Every file with that word was locked. He tapped it, and the system asked for voice authorization. He didn't know what to say, but before he could try, he heard movement behind him. A soft click, like metal against stone. He turned fast, and saw the alien nurse, the same one who whispered to him. She stepped out of the shadows. Eyes wide, face pale. "You shouldn't be here," she said again, but softer this time. "I had to know," Liam said. "What did you inject me with?" She looked down, ashamed. "It wasn't meant for you. It was for the others, the ones who didn't wake up. You were a test, the last one, and you woke too early." "What happens if I finish changing?" Liam asked. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she pulled out a small device and pressed it. A panel in the wall slid open, revealing a hidden room. Inside were more files. Physical ones, real paper, real ink, Earth files, stolen or recovered. He couldn't tell. She handed him one marked "Eyes Only Human" command. Inside was a photo of him as a child, on Earth, standing next to a woman. His mother. "I was born on Earth," he whispered. "Not made." The nurse nodded slowly. "They took you during the crash," she said. "But the others, they were created." Liam's stomach twisted. "You said I wasn't supposed to be here." he asked. Then where? She hesitated, then said one word, Earth. He stared at her, confused. You're saying? I was supposed to be sent back. Yes, she said. But something changed. The core activated early, and now they want to use you. For what? Her eyes filled with fear. To open the gate. A loud alarm suddenly roared through. The Forbidden's ward, lights flashed, doors locked, and the nurse grabbed his arm. They know you've seen the files, she said. We have to move now. Where are we going? Liam asked. She looked him in the eye. To the ship that brought you here. Asterisk, the nurse's secret. The siren screamed louder now, shaking the floor like thunder. Red lights flashed across the walls, casting shadows that moved like ghosts. The alien nurse gripped Liam's hand tightly, her fingers cold but steady. Come with me, she said, pulling him into a side corridor hidden behind the file room. They ran down a narrow hallway, dim and curved like a tunnel inside a living thing. Liam's heart pounded in rhythm with the alarms. He didn't ask where they were going. He didn't need to. He saw it in her eyes. She was scared, and that scared him more than the sirens. Who are you really? He finally asked as they ran. She didn't answer right away. They reached a heavy door with alien symbols, and she placed her hand on the pad. A scan passed over her skin, and the door clicked open. Inside was a small chamber, dark and silent. She pulled the door shut behind them, cutting off the sound of alarms. Then she turned to him and whispered, My name is Saren. I was born here, but I don't belong here. Liam stepped back, breathing hard. What does that mean? He asked. Saren sighed, sitting on a metal bench. I was created to care for hybrids like you, but I was never loyal to them. I don't believe in what they're doing. She pulled something from her. Coat, a memory chip. Glowing blue. These are the real files, she said, not the fake ones you saw on the walls. They've been lying to you and to me. Liam took the chip carefully. What's on it? The truth, she said, about the core, about why you're changing, and about what they plan to do to Earth. Liam's hands trembled. I need to get home, he said. I need to stop this. Saren looked at him, sadness in her eyes. You were never supposed to wake up, she said softly. You were meant to be a key, not a person. What is the core? He asked. She hesitated, then said, It's alive. Liam froze. What? It's not just a power source, Saren whispered. It's a living intelligence, ancient and dangerous. They connected it to you because your DNA was the only one. That survived full bonding. You're not just part human now. You're part core. Liam felt sick. You're saying I'm a weapon. She nodded slowly. A weapon designed to open the gate. What gate? Saren stood and walked to a small panel in the wall. Pressing it, a screen flickered to life, showing a giant structure floating in space. It looked like a black ring the size of a moon, spinning slowly near a dead star. That's the gate, she said. It leads to another universe, or another dimension. No one knows. Then why open it? Liam asked. Because they think something on the other side can save their dying race, she said, or destroy everything else. Liam clenched his fists. And we can't let them use me. Saren nodded. There's a ship hidden below this facility. An old Earth shuttle we stole during the first contact. It's coded to human DNA yours. Suddenly, the lights in the chamber blinked twice and turned red. Saren froze. They found us, she whispered. She grabbed his arm, opened another hidden passage behind the bench, and pushed him through. They crawled through a maintenance shaft filled with steam and wires that sparked like angry snakes. Liam could feel something burning inside him. Not fire, not pain, but power. It was rising in his blood. Waking up, we're close, Saren said. But you need to stay calm. I'm trying, Liam said, but something's happening to me. I know, she said. The core is merging with your mind. It's learning through you. If we don't reach the ship soon, it might take control. They dropped down into another hallway, and for the first time, Liam saw guards waiting. But they didn't attack. They stood motionless, heads tilted, weapons lowered, eyes glowing blue. They're connected to the core, Saren whispered. And now... So are you? Liam stepped forward. The guards watched, but didn't move. He raised his hand slowly, and they stepped aside. The path was open. How did you do that? Saren asked, stunned. I don't know, Liam whispered. But I think. It wants me to go. Saren looked afraid. Then we need to leave now. They ran past the guards, who still didn't follow. Ahead was a massive door with the Earth flag carved into the metal. Liam pressed his hand to the scanner, and it lit up green. Access granted Earth Origin shuttle. Lifeline. The door opened, and inside was a ship, dusty. Ancient, but waiting. Liam stepped inside. The lights came on, and the systems hummed to life. Behind him, Saren stood at the door. Looking back, they'll come after us, she said. Liam nodded, gripping the controls. Then we don't. Give them a second chance. He didn't know where he would go, but he knew one thing. He wasn't a prisoner anymore. He was becoming something else. The escape ship, the doors sealed behind him with a deep metallic hiss. Liam stood at the control panel, heart racing, sweat cold on his back. The ship felt old but alive. Dust floated through the cabin, but the lights glowed with quiet energy. He placed his hand on the command pad, and the console blinked green. Identity confirmed. Pilot, Liam Carter. Genetic signature, matched, engines activating. Saren sat beside him, strapping in as the floor began to vibrate. You were meant for this ship, she said. It responds only to you. A ceiling above them opened, revealing a dark tunnel leading upward. The facility shook as alarms screamed again. Behind the door they came through. Distant footsteps echoed. More guards. More machines, maybe worse. Do they know where? We're going, Liam asked. Saren nodded, her face pale. Yes, but they won't follow the normal way. They'll follow through the core. Liam didn't ask what that meant. He pushed the launch sequence, and the ship roared to life. The engine screamed like a dying star, and then they launched. A tunnel flashed past them in seconds, walls melting into darkness, and then they broke through the surface, into open space. Liam had never seen anything so endless. Stars stretched in every direction, some blue, some red, some blinking like eyes. A dead planet floated nearby, cracked in half, glowing from inside like a broken heart. Behind them, a facility was hidden inside an asteroid field, protected by shields, but now it looked small, like a scar on a giant's skin. Saren turned to him, her voice calm but cold. We're not safe yet. The ship's console flickered again. Warning. Unidentified energy signature detected. On the screen, something moved. Not a ship, not a drone. It looked like light, shaped like a shadow. It followed them at impossible speed. Liam's head began to ache, his vision blurred. The core inside him was reacting. It's connected to you, Saren said. That thing is not alive, but it follows thought. It's a piece of the core. Liam's hands gripped the controls. Tighter. I need to outrun it. No, Saren said. You need to understand it. It's not chasing you, Liam. It's testing you. The light creature moved again, faster now, closer. Liam closed his eyes, and something inside him responded. He didn't see the ship anymore. He saw a door, glowing white. Floating in his mind, he opened it. Suddenly, the ship stopped shaking. The creature stopped moving. It hovered outside the ship like a waiting animal, and then it spoke, not with words, but with memory. Images filled Liam's mind. The Earth. Mission, the crash, the experiments, and something more. A second Liam, smaller, younger, standing in a different lab, watching other children play inside glass rooms. Learning, watching, I wasn't just taken, Liam whispered. I was raised there. Saren looked at him, shocked. You remember? Yes, Liam said. But there's more. He turned the ship toward a black dot in space. A signal, weak but clear. I saw this place in the memories. He said, it's the other facility. The one that never answered. Serene's face turned pale. No one has been there in years, she said. It was lost, abandoned, or hidden, Liam replied. He activated the thrusters, and the ship changed course. The creature of light followed, but slower now, as if it was watching, not chasing. Hours passed like seconds. The stars changed, and a new planet appeared, gray and silent. Orbiting it was the second station, dark, offline, forgotten. Liam brought the ship closer. Docking systems activated automatically. As if the station remembered him, the airlock opened with a soft hiss, and a single message flashed on the screen. Welcome back, LIM. Serene's hands shook as she read it. They planned this, she said. They built this path for you. Liam stepped into the silent station. It was dark, but familiar. The walls knew him. The machines turned on at his presence, and in the center of it all was a chair, made of metal and light, shaped like a throne, waiting for him. What is this place? Liam asked, his voice a whisper. Saren stared at the glowing symbols. Around the chair, this isn't a station, she said. It's a control node. For what? She swallowed hard. For the gate. Asterisk Truth from Earthlium stood before the glowing chair. It pulsed like a living heart, waiting for him to sit. Saren stepped back, eyes wide with fear. Don't, she whispered. If you sit, you connect. Liam's mind was already racing. Something deep inside him was pulling him forward. It wasn't curiosity anymore. It was instinct. He placed one hand on the armrest. The room responded immediately. Lights rising, walls shifting, screens opened all around him, and the air filled with sound. Whispers, pulses, voices from the past. Then, one screen lit up brighter than the rest. It showed Earth, beautiful and distant. A signal blinked at. The bottom corner, marked, Priority file from Earth 12 years ago. Liam pressed it, and a video began. A human general appeared, his face cold and tired. This message is for Subject 47B, he said. If you're watching this, then you survived the core injection. And that means Earth is already in danger. Liam leaned closer. Saren didn't say a word. The general continued. You were part of Project Lifeline, created during our final mission. Earth was dying. Climate failure, resource collapse, rising war. We had to look outward. But we found something else instead. We found them, the ones who live through energy. The aliens didn't just offer help. They offered transformation. They took our DNA, our children, our dreams, and they gave. Use the core. Liam's throat tightened. The general looked down, almost ashamed. You were made to hold it, he said. You are not fully human, but you are ours. The video glitched for a second, and a second person appeared. A woman, the same woman from Liam's memory. Her voice cracked as she spoke. I'm sorry, Liam, she said. I didn't want you to grow up like this. I tried to bring you home. Liam froze. He knew that voice. He had heard it before, not in dreams, but in his childhood. It was his mother. We couldn't stop the project, she said. But I made sure your Earth memories would survive. I left them inside your core, deep, hidden, protected. When the time is right, they will wake you. Saren turned to Liam, stunned. You weren't just a test subject, she said. You were Earth's last key. The screen changed again, showing coordinates. A final message blinked across the room. Return to Earth. Gate coordinates SET1 chance. Liam stepped away from the chair, breathing fast. Everything was different now. He wasn't an accident. He was a mission. Suddenly, the station shook violently. The walls screamed with pressure. and red lights began flashing. Outside the window, something massive moved. The creature of light had returned, but it wasn't small anymore. It had grown, a shape of energy, larger than a ship, wrapped in lightning and fire. It followed. "U.S.," Saren said. "But it's not attacking." Liam reached out, touching the console. He felt the creature's presence in his mind again. But this time, it didn't send fear. It sent grief. He saw visions of other hybrids, other children, all lost, all gone. It showed him Earth cities burning, skies turning black, oceans boiling, and one final image, the gate. Opening, something stepping through. Not alive, not dead, something. Ancient, waiting. "We have to warn them," Liam said. Saren looked unsure. "They'll never believe you." "I don't care," Liam said. "I'll show them what I saw." He turned the ship back toward the coordinates Earth had sent. The engines roared to life again. The station powered down behind them, dark and quiet once more, as they passed. Into jump speed, the creature didn't follow. It watched, floating near the gate, and for a moment, Liam felt something strange. Not fear, but pity, as if the creature didn't want the gate to open either. He leaned back in the pilot chair. "Earth thinks I'm one of them," he said. "They don't know what I've become." Saren placed the memory chip in the ship's main core. "Then show them," she said. "Show them everything." And as the ship flew through stars, one final message appeared on the console. "You are the core now." Not human, not alien. The ship dropped out of warp near Earth's orbit. Blue oceans, green lands, spinning slowly under layers of clouds. For a moment, Liam just stared. This was home. Or at least, it used to be. Saren stood beside him, silent. She had never seen Earth with her own eyes. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "But I feel something else." Liam nodded. "Fear," he said. "They don't know I'm coming." A voice cracked over the ship's comm system. "Unidentified vessel. This is Earth Defense Command. You are entering restricted airspace. Identify." Liam leaned forward. "This is Liam Carter, Earthborn, Project Lifeline. I'm coming home with a warning." Silence then? "Impossible," the voice said. "Subject 47B was lost 12 years ago." "I didn't die," Liam replied. "You gave me to them." The comm line went dead. Saren looked worried. "They're going to try and stop us." Liam's ship was pulled by a tractor beam toward a secure docking bay. Giant cannons turned toward them. Missiles locked on. Waiting, he didn't resist. If Earth was going to listen, it had to be now. The hangar opened. Steam hissing, lights flashing red. He stepped out alone, hands raised, Saren staying behind for now. Soldiers surrounded him in seconds, weapons aimed at his head, but no one fired. They stared, confused, and his eyes glowing faintly gold. A woman stepped through the line, older, battle-worn, but familiar. It was General Ainsley, one of the founders of the program. "You should not be alive," she said, her voice calm but sharp. "I am," Liam replied. "And I'm not alone." He placed the memory chip into a data port. The room lit up with images. The gate, the alien labs, the hybrid files, the experiments. The core, everything. The soldiers watched in silence. Some stepped back, some looked away. Ainsley didn't blink. "We knew it would come to this," she said quietly. "That's why we never opened the gate." "But you tried," Liam said. "You made me to open it. We made you to survive it." Ainsley answered, "Because one day someone else would open it." Saren stepped out now. She looked at the soldiers, not with fear, but pity. "You don't understand what you're dealing with." She said, "The gate is not a doorway. It's a mouth." Everyone stared at her. "A mouth." One soldier whispered, "Yes," Saren said, "and Earth is making too much noise." Suddenly, the alarms blared again. A signal burst through the base, one they had never seen before. A ripple in space appeared just above the atmosphere. The gate was activating, but no one had opened it. It heard you, Liam whispered. It heard me. The core inside him pulsed like fire in his veins. The ship's systems began to fail. Energy draining into the sky, Liam dropped to his knees, the power inside him growing. Out of control. You have to choose now, Saren said, her voice shaking. You can let it take you, or you can shut it down. But if I shut it down, Liam said, I die. She nodded. You were made to burn. Liam stood slowly, body glowing now, not gold but white. He looked around at Earth, the people, the sky, the sun. I wanted to be human again, he said, but I'm not. He turned toward the control panel. If I do this, no one else can follow the gate's signal. Exactly, Ainsley said. You become the firewall. He placed his hands on the final terminal. The gate's energy flowed through him like a flood. He saw other worlds, other timelines, things beyond language, and he understood. The gate didn't lead to one place. It led to all of them. He was the last door, and he was choosing to stay closed. With a final breath, Liam whispered, Goodbye. Earth. The light exploded outward. Silent, powerful, final then. Stillness. The sky cleared. The gate vanished. The energy disappeared. Where Liam had stood, there was only a burn mark on the floor. A single glowing line across it, like a shut eye. Saren picked up the memory chip and looked to the stars. He wasn't human, she said. He wasn't alien either. She turned to Ainsley. He was better, far above Earth, among the stars. A faint voice echoed through the void. You're not supposed to be here. But this time, it wasn't a warning. It was a promise.